Hey guys, I'm Rachel O'Leary. Welcome to the fish room. As you can tell from my voice and the chaos that surrounds me, the Aquatic Experience was quite a weekend. I'm sure some of you know by now from watching Dustin's Fish Tanks and Pet Tech that my team of Jennifer Williams and my two daughters, Abigail and Clelia, won the large tank division. And that was pretty awesome. I'm pretty sure there's some interesting footage that's going to be coming from that. The best part, $1,000 prize. Second best part, a ton of swag. I got all these really awesome tissue cultured plants from Aqua Nova. There is a ton of plants in each of these cups. I also got some really cool gifts from friends. Some of you may be jealous to see this. I will wear it with pride, Joey. I got some free tanks, I got some free equipment, I got a bunch of other t-shirts, stickers, a poster and book from Oliver Knott that's personalized, which that's pretty awesome. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about the experience, behind the experience for an aquascaping contest specifically. Jen and I started talking almost a year ago about the concept for our tank. Our inspiration was sort of those little secret gardens you find in nature where rocks and wood jumble together and plants get stuck and grow. And we really wanted our tank to be something that the average hobbyist could maintain over a long time. So it was all low light plants, narrowleaf java ferns, some physcidens, some mosses, some hygrophila, which is a little bit harder but not too bad, and dwarf sag. You know, the substrate was an aquascaper's best friend, just cheap, old, ordinary pool filter sand. And the wood was quite honestly all the scraps left over from my yard. Jen came up, we looked through this jumble of sticks, and she created something that is just phenomenally beautiful. And I'm so thankful to have been on her team and be able to provide the materials and the fish and my input for what turned out to be just a fantastic tank and a wonderful experience. Getting there was not very easy though. We had an 11-hour drive with 2 kids in the car and all the contents of a 75-gallon tank, plus all the things we needed for 5 days in Chicago. Once we got there, we just had to go balls to the wall to assemble a tank and set up filtration and acclimate fish and hope that it was enough. It was some pretty stiff competition. This is the chaos that is aquascaping. Using a mister and super glue to apply a bunch of plants. So we finished the vast majority of the hardscape and applied a bunch of physcidens as well as narrowleaf java fern and some the stuff I can't say. The physcidens. It has a really unique texture. It's very bristly and gets like almost a browning to the ends. It doesn't have roots, so we've glued it and just shoved it into holes everywhere. To fit a Fukuda, whatever. Now what's left is obviously filling it with water and adding the fish. But it's not all as glamorous as it seems. We have to play some serious card Tetris, and I'm going to show you sort of the other side of these competitions. To pack up the filters, the kids stuff, the food, the fish, the buckets, the CO2 equipment that we didn't even use. The hardscape, which has to be wrapped so that the moss that was so carefully applied and some of the plants we couldn't remove stays alive throughout this whole process. Keep in mind, it got it to freezing last night, and it's an 11-hour drive for me, so we had to unpack the car last night to bring the things into the hotel to do it all again. We had a really great time at the Aquatic Experience. My daughters especially got to hang out with some of the really great names in the industry. The best part for me was having my kids involved in the competition. You know, generally speaking, they're not very into fish. They think their mom is kind of a nut. So to have them help us with our tank and really be actively involved in the planting and application of the plants, and just the whole experience was huge for me. You know, my youngest especially came away from this absolutely inspired and is now planning to do her own planted nano tank in her room. So what bigger reward for a fish pimp mom is there? Some of these plants are actually hers that were given to her by Aquanova, which I can't stress enough how wonderful those plants are. And they're going to be available anytime now in the United States. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check in on Tuesday for another tip, as well as Sunday for a species spotlight. I'm going to go get some rest, but make sure you also stop by my website, missjinx.com, for my current stock list, upcoming events, and information on all things nano.